Jamaica Stock Exchange is that they had this competition for high school kids, where they compete against each other, and I think I'd been much further ahead today if I'd taken an interest in things like that when I was in high school, as opposed to waiting until I was maybe 25 or 26 years old. Starting early is amazing, and I have my kids, and they have their own two portfolios, and they've done pretty well. They're reaping their dividends now and watching those stocks appreciate. It's kind of pulled back a little last year, but that's the market can't go on way, so you kind of have to be able to ride the ebbs and flows.
So what would you say would be the first step for somebody who just feels nervous about investing?
Well, you want to overcome that nervousness, because nerves are good in some respects, but if it freezes you, it's not good. So I think the first step really is to speak to somebody who knows a little bit about stocks, see what you can learn from them. But you also have the opportunity to speak to any of the stockbrokers in the local market here. The Financial Gleaner from time to time has stories. The Observer carries stories. TVJ carries information on the stock market every night. I think there are many opportunities where people can get to learn. So that's the first thing. You really shouldn't invest out of ignorance, and try and find a little bit out about the company. And there are great companies here in Jamaica today which are well known. I think on the stock exchange has, maybe 65, somewhere between 50 and 60 companies listed there. And, it's pretty easy to go in and buy, a couple thousand shares. That doesn't cost a lot.
Okay, so as you're wearing the hat of the JSE chairman now, why do you think more Jamaicans are not invested? I heard it's about 100,000 active accounts.
I'm not quite sure what the number is, but I think it's mostly a lack of knowledge. We do hold, we do try to stimulate an interest in the market, but if you look, it's been pretty difficult. Slowly but surely, the brokers have been pulling new people into the market, but it's the challenge that you have in Jamaica is if you look back over the last 15 years and you exclude maybe the last 2 or 3, we've had a high interest rate environment, and effectively what that did was it encouraged people to purchase more fixed income where you're going to get an 8 or 10% return, as opposed to buying an equity where the return really was in the capital appreciation, and the flows that you got were dividends, which may be a 2 or 3% yield. But if you look back, we have some investors who were buying when, I remember one of my biggest mistakes. I remember when Pan Jamaican was maybe 12, 14 years ago, was available for something like $1.80 a share. 17% of the company was available for $1.80 a share. Today, it went as high as $70 a share, and it's been paying massive dividends. So had I had the guts, and I was well educated and everything, and saw the opportunity, but just didn't have the guts to follow what my brain was telling me to do and to buy those shares. I think I would be maybe ready to retire now instead of continuing to work as I am. So I think the old adage is sell when everybody is buying and buy when everybody is selling. And if you look on the stock exchange now, I think there's some very good companies with great fundamentals. They will survive, they will do well, which are trading for really way below what the potential of those companies are. So if that's where to look at the junior market at the Jamaica Stock Exchange. I think there are tremendous opportunities there.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right.
Anytime then.
All right, great.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.